Way to finish off the game, accurately converting your endgame advantage. Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The French defense prepares for d5, but blocks in the light-squared bishop in exchange for a strong center and counterattacking chances. d4 grabs full control of the center and opens up the dark-squared bishop. d5 is a counterattack in the center that threatens the e4 pawn. Knight d2 develops the knight and defends the e4 pawn. c5 strikes the d4 pawn, starting active play in the center. E takes d5 opens up the center after black recaptures the d5 pawn. White plans to develop with knight gf3 and bishop d3 or bishop b5 check. E takes d5 recaptures the pawn and controls the e4 and c4 squares. Knight gf3 develops the knight toward the center, defends the d4 pawn and controls the e5 square. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center, controls the e4 square and supports the d5 pawn. Bishop b5 check develops the bishop, puts the king in check and prepares castling. Bishop d7 develops the bishop and blocks the check. Bishop takes d7 check captures the bishop and puts the black king in check. Knight b takes d7 recaptures the bishop, develops the knight toward the center, and defends the pawn on c5. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Bishop e7 develops black's last minor piece and prepares to castle kingside. This immobilizes the bishop by pinning it to the king. Castling on the same side of the board as your opponent is a solid choice. A very strong play. Very good choice. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You take back. White develops the bishop and attacks the center. Nice, definitely the right move. Putting the piece on a blockade square. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This overlooks an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. You exchange pieces of equal value. White combines recapturing with the development of a new piece. Developing a new piece. One of the best moves. Yes, this is the way. Right on target. Your rooks can work together now. This defends the attacked pawn. This move opens up space for your king to evade threats along the back rank. A solid choice. Nice, definitely the right move. This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked. Good job, that's what I would have played too. That's fine. Yes, this is the way. A very strong play. You are threatening to capture a knight and win material after the follow-up trades. This moves the knight to safety. This is the only move that works and you found it. That was a fair trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. That was an even swap of material. This is an equal trade. You are forcing your opponent to create a backward pawn. Recaptures. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square. This move puts the knight on a safer square. You made that square a great outpost for a knight. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. You captured back. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. You had a better option, but this is not bad. This misses an opportunity to take an open file with a rook. Nice, definitely the right move. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This misses a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. Yes, this is the way. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. A good choice to move your threatened rook. This defends the attacked pawn. Nice, definitely the right move. This is the strongest option. Good job, that's what I would have played too. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This move challenges their rook for control of the file. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. Nice find, you found the only move in this position. You stopped your opponent from being able to force an isolated pawn. One of the best moves. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. A solid choice. Yes, this is the way. Very precise. Nice, definitely the right move. This is a fair move. You step your king away from the checking rook. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Good job. That's what I would have played too. This evades the check from the pawn. Yes, this is the way. A very strong play. You trade off equal material. One of the best moves. Nice. Definitely the right move. A solid choice. This is a fine move. A very strong play. Good job. That's what I would have played too. This steps away from the checking rook. You found a safer square for your rook. This defends the attacked pawn. Well done, an excellent move. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. One of the best moves. Your opponent will have to keep an eye on that passed pawn. A solid choice. Passed pawns must be pushed. Right on target. Yes, this is the way. A very strong play. Nice, you found a way to win a rook. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. You promote your pawn to a queen. This is the strongest option. Your move gets closer to checkmate. One of the best moves. You continue the checkmate attack. Very precise. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. Right on target. You did it. Nice checkmate.